Here's the best way to sleep. We spend 33% of our lives sleeping, which is fucking nuts to me. If you live till fucking 100, you're sleeping 33 of those years, which is absurd. And so I feel like people generally undervalue their sleep, and I have been one of those people for majority of my life, rocking 5 hour, 4 hour nights just to crank a midterm or study for a midterm or write a paper, or just to fucking stare at my phone or fucking play video games, right? Watch TV. The reasons of why we stay up past when we should, or sleep in longer, or stay in bed, fucking out of this world. It just keeps going up. We just have so many reasons to stay in bed. Recently for me, I've gotten into figuring out how can I maximize the time that I spend resting so I get the most out of these 33 years. And I've kind of got four things that I came down to. The first being 8 hours. And it seems so incredibly basic, but the way I feel during the day after an 8 hour night is shockingly different than a fucking 5 hour night. And furthermore, I feel like when I sleep 11 hours, 12 hours, and I lay in bed all day, not even like conscious, I feel just as lazy, just as like not present as a fucking 6 hour night. And so I think there's something to be said about that period between 7 and 9 hours, specifically 8 hours, that really is just an absolute game changer when it comes to sleep. And how to like make that 8 hours happen comes down to you. That comes down to you got to prioritize it. For me, I have to either work out earlier because I often find myself working out at 11 and then I get home at 12 and then I eat and then I get ready for bed and the next thing I know it's 1. And so it's just about creating that space for yourself. There's a few other ways that I think can help you optimize your sleep. The second being exercise. As you guys know, I've been lifting for about 3 weeks now, about 3 weeks straight. And my sleep has gotten so much deeper in this short period of time. And I think it's a lot due to the fact that I'm lifting for an hour a day. I play spike ball 2 times a week at least. So that's like, and those are like rigorous practices. And I feel like that really makes a big difference in when you work your body, when you work your mind. That combination can really fucking tire you out and allow you to get the optimal rest you need. When it comes to actual sleep, I've got a few weird things that I do. I like the room cool, and I think a lot of people do that. I recently have bought or invested in a fucking red light that shines through our entire dorm room, and it's just the right amount of light where like you can see, you can function if you need to stay up, but it's dark enough that your eyes start to feel heavy. You're creating some of that, like it's creating room in your mind to think, okay, I'm winding down, I'm getting ready for bed. And I think it's super essential, especially for me now that I'm used to it. But I think another thing that's really helpful when you're winding down, when you're getting ready for bed, is just putting that damn phone away. And I think this is, just to go on a little tangent here, the hardest part of going to bed, because I'll spend fucking 3 hours of my life. It'll be 11, I get in bed, I'm ready, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed early, 11:30, I'm gonna look at my phone for 30 minutes. Next thing I know, it's 1:30, you know? And I think this isn't that uncommon for other people. I see my roommates doing it. I know my brother does it. I know my family members do it. It's super easy to get stuck on TikTok, stuck on Instagram. And I think we find excuses to keep it with us, which is it's kind of scary, but like for me, I can name a few examples. Like I'm like, okay, I listen to an audiobook to go to bed because it quiets the noise in my head. Like it gives me something to not think about other things, So like I'm able to think about the audiobook while not really being consciously thinking about my day or whatever, and just keeping myself up. But I'll be like, oh, I need to start my story, and so I need to keep my bed or my phone near my bed, or I need to set an alarm, so I need to keep the phone near, or like I won't wake up for my alarm if I don't have the phone near, which is not true. I have an alarm clock, and I wake up from it on my desk. I've tried it before. I'll be like, yeah, I mean, the list goes on, right? And if you're able to put this phone away for an hour before bed, I think that you'll easily be able to fall asleep, like comparatively to before. And it kind of goes without saying, I think we all deep down know that it's bad for us, but we all like have reasons why we need it in that last hour, right? What if someone texts us? What if we need to check our Instagram? Like that shit just doesn't matter, So I think I need to work on putting my phone away before bed. And to be fair though, I do want to text my girlfriend before bed, and I want to often call my girlfriend before bed. So I selfishly, I think there might be some exceptions here, but generally I think one thing can lead to the next, and then you're on TikTok. So just being able to control your impulses is big here, specifically surrounding the phone. I mean, the last thing for me has been supplements. Like I've been on a real health kick right now. I've been like trying to maximize my sleep, obviously, maximize my health, maximize the way I take care of my body, my teeth, and the things that I've found to try to maximize it have been sort of effective. I've got the nasal strip, which is shockingly useful, to be honest. It really makes it so that I can like breathe through my nose, which I haven't always been able to do. I think that it like if you struggle with allergies or something that like constantly clogging your nose, it's a must, because it lets you just open those airways. And then to supplement that, I run mouth tape recently, which is useful, and I think that it's really good to breathe through your nose, especially if you're a natural mouth breather. But I will say, when you have all these things on your face, it can be just as distracting. So then like forces you to stay up a little later, or just like you thinking about it, or like being just itching it or fucking with it, if that makes it harder for you to fall asleep, there's no need for it, and it's at the end of the day, maybe it's just a money trap that I've fallen for. I think the last thing supplement wise is melatonin, which is I use probably once or twice a week. I used to use it like in my senior year of high school, like daily, and I think eventually it became to a point where like I needed it, especially if I was going to bed earlier than usual, like if I was adjusting my routine. So I don't think you need it, but I will say it is nice if you're like used to going to bed at 1 a.m. and then you are able to go to bed at 10 p.m. It makes it considerably easier. Like that speed at which I fall asleep is closed. That gap is closed. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much wraps up the best way to fall asleep. I've got one more quote that I found really interesting this week that I want to share with you guys, but I just want to finish before that by saying when I sleep well, I feel like myself. And it's weird to think that I haven't been focusing on feeling like myself, because that's such a, like, not only are you sleeping for 33% of your life, but it determines the rest of it. It determines the 66%. And so we can't be wasting our time just not optimizing it. My main goal here is to make you guys think about how to make yourself feel better, make yourself feel like yourself when you wake up. Yeah. All right, so here's my quote. The thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you no matter what you do. So I think you might as well play the best game you can while you're waiting for it to happen. Do you have anything better to do? Thanks.